When the world is so crazy, I like to go to my comfort zone. And my comfort zone is a classic Italian pesto. It just needs a few ingredients: basilicum, garlic clove, salt, pine nuts, Parmesan cheese, and a very good olive oil. We start by grating the garlic and the salt together, smashing them into a nice paste. So the recipe is very simple. You need a package of basil, 2 garlic cloves, a pinch of salt, 2 tablespoons of roasted pine nuts, 3 to 4 tablespoons of grated parmesan, and about half a cup of olive oil. I'm smashing the garlic until I'm getting a very nice gluey paste. And now I'm starting to add in few times my basilicum leaves. I'm starting with a small amount, smashing them into the paste, and then I will add more after all those leaves are going to be dissolved into the mixture. It's very important to use this device because it releases the natural oil and flavors of all the ingredients. You can do it, of course, with the electric device, but the result will be completely different. This is the classic way that Italians are making it for centuries. And if something is very good for other people for centuries, I wouldn't be changing it. Here you can see I'm adding my pine nuts, smashing them into the paste, just to be sure. At that point, at that stage, I haven't added any olive oil. Everything is naturally juices from the leaves of basilicum and from the garlic. I'm smashing it really, really good, and the next stage will be adding oil gradually, slowly. I'm giving you measurement, but the measurement is very, very flexible, because it's one of those recipes that you need to feel what you're doing, and this device is exactly what you need to feel. The idea is that it has to be paste and not too dry, and if you add some kind of ingredients that makes it dry, you always balance it with a drop of olive oil. So this is a soul food. This is food that, we can give you recipes, but in the end of the day, you have to feel what you're doing. I'm checking myself to see that I'm good in terms of seasoning, salt, sharpness, freshness, rich flavor, and everything. The next stage, I'm going to check myself and see if I need to add some more oil, if I'm good or not. And here I'm already in the stage that I'm adding the cheese, the parmesan. I'm grating fresh parmesan. I would say something like 2 tablespoons, and I will check myself if the flavor are good or I need to add some more. Very, very gently I'm mixing it into the mixture, and you can see that it's getting more dry and less pasty. So in that stage, I'm going to add a little bit more of olive oil just to keep the right texture. This is too dry, as you can see, especially I'm showing you. And I'm adding a little bit oil. My oil is my balance. I'm always adding oil if I need to. It doesn't have to be too greasy. It needs to be exactly the right texture. And what is the right texture? I'm showing you now. This is the right texture. It's not too dry and it's not too oily. It's something in between. So, my next stage is pasta. I'm using a classic, old-time classic spaghetti. The one that you need to cook for between 8 to 9 minutes. Salty water. I'm checking myself 2-3 minutes before that the pasta is good, it's al dente. Here, I drain the pasta, I'm adding the pesto. I prefer to start with a little bit less, like I use 3 tablespoons for that. But if I will need to add more, I will add more. The idea is that it has to be covered, all the spaghetti has to be covered with the green paste. And I know that there are people that adding liquid water from the pasta. I don't like it because my pesto is very, very rich and full of flavor, and I want all those flavor to dissolve into the warm spaghetti, hot spaghetti. From that stage, I'm going to transfer it to a serving bowl, serving dish. Here you see, I'm also a human, and I was not quite satisfied from the texture, so I add a little bit more. Spaghetti is ready to move to the next stage. It's going to our serving bowl, center of the table, and soon we're going to sit and have a bite, try it. Starting with the first bowl, adding a little bit more. Make sure you don't put too much because it's better to eat it in two shots, in two plates, and rather putting a lot in one time on the table and the plate. Grating a little bit of Parmesan, and we are almost good to go.
Doing the cheese. My hand to go further because I have pretty hand. Go further.
And here you have it, spaghetti pesto classica italiana. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any comments, feel free to comment, ask me questions. Buon appetito. Buon appetito in Italian.